Hello everyone and welcome. Thank you for watching this video. I am Andy Rosen. I will be your instructor for Math 200 this summer. And yeah, as you probably already know, the first week together is going to be asynchronous. I'm going to give you some things to do, including watching this video for the first week. And then after the first week, we will be doing synchronous, where I'll be live teaching the lessons. But we'll talk about that as we go through. But again, my name is Andy Rosen. I've been teaching at Palomar for many years. I'm actually a full-time high school teacher right now. I'm recording this from from my classroom at Carlsbad High School. Of course, it's summer, so I'm not going to be back in my classroom for the rest of the summer, which is a good thing. But I want to share with you the different things that you're going to need to know about this class. So let me see if I can remember how to present this. Okay, so let me start with the Canvas. Now this is going to be slightly different only because this is the Canvas for the evening class that I'm going to be teaching. It's still Math 200, still linear algebra. There will be some minor differences. It's just that as of this recording, I haven't actually been added to the Canvas for this class yet, because this was a very last minute change of instructor. But it's going to be all basically set up the same. And after this, everything else I show you will be relevant to your class. So anyway, this is Canvas. We're not going to use this for everything. I'm going to show you another website that I use that we will be using for everything. But I wanted to kind of show you what's available here. Let me go to the student view. There we go. Okay. So this is what you will see when you log into Canvas. Announcements, anytime there's anything that's going on, you should hopefully by now have received an announcement from me, just basic information about the class. So if you haven't seen that yet, make sure you check that out under announcements. And basically anytime we have a test coming up, I'll put an announcement in there as well. Assignments. So the only assignments that you will need to be turning in to me are tests. And we'll talk about how that works in just a minute, but I will be using Canvas to post those assignments and for you to turn in those assignments. And we'll talk about that, but basically that's what this assignments part is going to be used for. It's used for you submitting the tests basically for this class. Discussions, there's nothing formally going to be used for discussions. It's just a chance for people to pose questions. I will answer the questions, but I also encourage you guys to answer questions. So if you see a question and you know the answer, jump in and answer. It doesn't just have to be me responding to everything, but the discussions are very informal. The grades, I will be using Canvas for posting grades. Everything, anything graded will go in there. There's not a lot that goes into the grade. It's basically tests in the final, but I'll be posting those in there. Oh, I should mention also real quick for assignments, that is where you'll turn in the tests. That is also where you can see how you did. And I will also be annotating the tests. I'll be writing them marking them up to show you, where you lost points, if you lost points, that sort of thing. So again, within assessments, you can see that. But grades, I will be using the grades in Canvas. And so you can go there to keep track of your grade. The grade that's posted there is your grade. This information right here is not correct. So we will be meeting, again, starting with week 2, we will be meeting every Monday through Thursday from 7:40 to 9:50. Hold on, do I have that information right? Again, this is a new one. 7:40 and 9:50, yes. Okay. So we will be doing that. We'll be meeting on Zoom, and the link is right here. So we will be having live lessons starting week 2, and you're going to get those lessons by going to Zoom. I do have other resources available, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but the live lessons will be there. So again, ignore this Tuesday through Thursday. The information on your Canvas will be correct once I'm given access to it. Okay, for the most part, that's all I'm going to be using Canvas for. Everything else that you're going to be doing everything else you're going to need will be found on this website right here, rosenmath.com. This is my personal website. I'm going to show you what it looks like in just a minute. Everything you need, it can be found on this website. So I'm going to now switch over to Rosenmath, and so I'm going to share this tab instead. Okay, So this is what, oh, I'm sorry. This is what Rosen Math looks like. Okay, so if you log in, you can, if you want to read about me a little bit, it's not that all that exciting, but whatever. This phone number is from my classroom at Carlsbad High School. Again, I won't be there, so ignore that. But email, certainly you can email me from right here. You can also send me a message in Canvas. That's fine. It goes right to my email. But you can, my email address is right here. What you're looking for is over on the left side, Math 200 morning. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm teaching 2 different sections of Math 200 this summer. So you're looking for the one that says morning, and if I click on that, this is what we're doing for the entire session, the entire summer session. What we're doing each day, we'll go through each of these things, but this is everything that you need to know. You'll notice there is a link, the Zoom link is there as well if you ever need that. My advice to you is go to this website right now, bookmark it right now. Okay, because you are going to be using this regularly throughout. For each lesson, I have, we'll go through this, actually, I'm sorry, take a step back for a minute. Let's start with this stuff up here, the textbook information. You do not need to purchase a textbook for this class. You are going to be, I'm going to make available to you a PDF version of the textbook. That's all we're going to be using. So you do not need to purchase anything. If you've already purchased something, return it if you can, okay, because we're not going to use it. We're going to be using Linear Algebra and its Applications, 4th edition by David C. Lay, and you can download it from this website, My Open Math. So on this website, and again, I'll show it to you in just a moment, you're going to create a free account, and then once you create that account, you're going to use this course ID. So the course ID is 60350. The enrollment key, okay, that is a password. I'm not going to share it with you now because this is on YouTube, but in the welcome email, in the welcome announcement in Canvas, it will have listed there what the enrollment key is. And so make sure you look for that. Again, real quick, let me switch over here for a moment. Under announcements, you can find that announcement and get that enrollment key. But anyway, so when you go to Open Math, let me show you what that looks like. Looks like this. So you're going to click here, add the new course using the information I just shared with you. And then once you go in there, you're going to have this course. It says Math 200. Okay. Click right here, download the PDF for the entire textbook. Done. Click right here, download all the answers from the back of the book. By the way, these pages are actually part of this PDF document. I just made them as a separate PDF just so you don't have to keep jumping back and forth in the pages. So download the back of the book, some study guides if you find that might be useful. This is from the publisher. There are also some videos, just things you might find useful that I've accumulated over time. My advice to you is download these, and then we're never going to use Open Math again, okay? The only websites you will need for this class are rosenmath.com and Canvas. Those are the only 2 we're going to use. Open Math is just there, or My Open Math, or whatever it's called, is just there to provide you with that textbook. Otherwise, we're not going to use it at all. Okay, let me switch back to, so again, this is on rosenmath.com. This is our class website. Each lesson, there are going to be 3 things. There's the handout. The handout, so I should step back for a moment. All of my lessons are PDFs, and I'm going to be writing on those PDFs. Or that's not what I meant to say at all. I'm sorry, let me back up. All my lessons are PowerPoint, and I'm going to be writing on those PowerPoint. So the handout, my advice to you is print out this handout before each class. Because this handout is a PDF version of the lesson that we will be doing that day, okay? So print this out, and that way you don't have to write all this stuff down. You're just filling in the gaps, filling in the blanks. And that's what I'm going to be doing also. When we get to this example, I'm going to be writing on these slides, and I'm going to be, doing the problems. So there's space there for you to also do the same thing. I've had students who like to download each of these lesson handouts as a PDF and then use a tablet to write on, take the notes that way instead of printing out the notes. Whatever works for you. I mean, I'm not collecting your notes. You do whatever makes sense for you. But definitely throughout the lesson, I'm not going to be pausing for you to write things down. Rephrase that. I'm not going to be pausing for you to write down all the things that are printed on the slide, because my expectation is people are going to print out the slides. There are a lot of slides. You can see that this lesson has 26 slides, and That's sort of typical. Maybe you want to print it out 3 per page or 4 per page or whatever makes sense for you. I used to have this PDF 6 per page, but then I figured I'll leave that up to you. You can print it out however you want. Some people print out a whole page per whole slide per page, whatever works for you, whatever makes sense for you. Anyway, so that's the handout. Now, as I said, I'm going to be writing on those slides. After the lesson is over, that is going to become this annotated lesson. So where it says annotated, this is the same slides, but now it's got all my writing on it. So if I went too fast through something and maybe you missed something, you can view the annotated lesson. You can see everything that I wrote, so you never need to miss anything. Right now, this link goes nowhere because we haven't had the lesson yet. But later on, this link will lead you to a PDF version of that annotated lesson. You will also notice that each of these lessons has a lesson video attached to it. A couple years ago, this class was an asynchronous class. And so I recorded all my lessons and made those available. These are our YouTube videos. I made these lessons available, and then I figured I still have them. Let's just make this available to you. So I strongly encourage you to come to the class every day. During the class, I will be teaching the lesson. I'm going to be doing the whole thing. But if you have to miss a lesson for some reason, maybe you missed something in the lesson and you're not sure quite, what you missed, these lesson videos are here. So, and some of you might just prefer to do things on your own pace, and that's fine. I don't take attendance. You're not required to be there every single morning, but I do encourage you to be there, just because you're going to learn better when you're hearing somebody talking to you live instead of having something that's pre-recorded. Also, that way I'm there to answer your questions. So again, while I strongly encourage you to be there in person for each of our live Zoom meetings, these lesson videos are there if you prefer to do this class more asynchronously. Okay, the homework, again, I don't collect the homework. I just have problems that I encourage you to look through just so you can get a feel for what to expect on the test. But I'm not going to collect the homework. You guys have the answers. What else? Exams. Okay. Oh, let's talk about this first week. So this first week here again, first week is all asynchronous. The introduction, I'm going to put a link to the video we're doing right now. I'll put it right here. I just haven't done that yet. But because I'm still making the video, but I'll put a link to that lesson or to this video. So introduction stuff. During this first week, you have 2 jobs. Your job is number 1, or basically your 2 jobs are to view this first lesson video that is on sections 1.1 and 1.2, and view the second lesson video that's on lessons 1.3 and 1.4. So at some point before week 2, make sure you watch those 2 videos. I guess I should delete the annotated lesson thing because there won't be one, but you got the handout, you can use that, and then you can use the lesson video to then take notes and use the handout to take the notes. So these first 2 lessons are going to be you guys doing it on your own asynchronously. And then starting with week 2, this right here is when we will then start doing these live. So there are 3 exams, and the way the exams are going to work is that I will publish them in Canvas. I'll publish a sheet with the questions on it. And the questions will be released at 8 a.m. on Canvas on the day of the test. And then you're going to do your own work on your own paper, and then scan in your work, and then you're going to save that as a PDF and then put that into the assignment in Canvas. So it'll be assigned, first of all, I should mention, tests are asynchronous. You're going to do it on your own. It's a take-home test, if you want to call it that, but you do not need to be logged into Zoom or anything to take the test. Nothing like that. You're going to just go to Canvas, download the test, and then work on it on your own paper. Please notice that it is going to be published on, the first test here is June 27th at 8 a.m. It is due by 10 a.m. the next morning. So it's due by 10 a.m. on June 28th. So you'll have a little over 24 hours to work on the test. On the test day, and I should have mentioned this before, every class, I'm going to show up at the class at 7:15 in the morning. I'll log into Zoom just to answer any questions. And then we'll start the class at, I already forgot what time it was, but hold on, maybe I have it here. No, I do not. Okay, so I will, I'll do office hours. I'll answer questions starting at 7:15, and then after that we will start with the lesson. On the test day, I'll again join at 7:15. I'll answer any questions up until 8 o'clock, and then starting at 8 o'clock, I'll log out, and then you guys are on your own to work on the test. The day after the test, so the day the test is due, in this case, it's on June 27th, you'll have the class time to work on the test. So basically we're gonna have we're not gonna meet on Zoom on this 28th, okay? You're gonna have the time to work on the test if you want, is due by 10 a.m. on that day. And then there will be one short lesson that you're just gonna do by watching the video and taking notes on the video. So on the 27th, we've got our first test. We'll do office hours until 8. From 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock the next morning, you can work on the test. The next morning, we're not going to meet on Zoom. You will just watch the lesson video on your own. And then on the 29th, we'll be back to our meetings. So anyway, I hope that's not confusing. If it is, we can certainly go over it when we come back together, when we start doing synchronous classes on week 2. Okay, and then of course there's the final exam, same deal. Okay, the final exam is scheduled for July 21st and is due by 10 a.m. the next morning, July 22nd. So let's go through the syllabus here. And again, a lot of stuff I've already talked about. Oh, okay, class starts at 7:40. Good to know. Email address, fine, book, website, we talked about that already. Handouts, videos of each lesson, annotated lessons, or notes from the lesson, schedule, homework. So the homework for students to practice the material from each lesson and get an idea of what could be asked on tests. All lessons are going to be taught via Zoom. Students are encouraged to attend these live lessons so that they can ask questions and interact with the instructor. Lesson videos are provided for students who are unable to attend the live lessons or, as I said, just prefer to do things more asynchronously. But as I said, I'm not going to take attendance or anything. Canvas, all class communication will take place within Canvas, so students are encouraged to enable notifications so that they don't miss any important information. In addition, all tests will be taken using Canvas. Students will be required to view test questions, write answers on their own paper, and upload the work into Canvas. Office hours, as I said a moment ago, I will be holding office hours, I will join the Zoom meeting at 7:15 each class to answer any questions before class. You are also very welcome to email me if you'd like to. My open math, there's a wide variety of resources on open math. We talked about that. The enrollment key, as I said, that's part of the announcement that you guys will be getting or maybe already have gotten. Exams, we talked about this. Let's just read through it in case it clears things up. There will be 3 take-home exams throughout the course, and each exam will be worth 100 points. Exam questions are based on the homework as well as examples from the lessons, and students are not allowed to use a calculator. So again, it's take home. I'm not going to be checking on that because I can't, but really there's not really anything in this class that we'll be doing that requires a calculator. So I do not expect anyone to be using calculators. Exams will be made available on Canvas on 8 a.m. on the exam day listed on the website and must be turned in no later than 10 a.m. on the following day. Exams that are turned in late might not receive credit. And then the take-home final exam is worth 100 points and it is given on Thursday, July 21st. Some information there for you. Students with disabilities need to contact me during the first week to discuss testing accommodations. If you feel that you're falling behind in the class, don't hesitate to approach me with questions. I'm available in office hours and via email. Inappropriate behaving such as cheating or excessive disruptiveness may result at my discretion in a student being dropped and or grade of F being recorded for the course. And then your student learning outcomes. By the end of the course, students will be able to demonstrate understanding of the theoretical foundations of modern linear algebra, such as vector spaces, inner product spaces, and the eigenvalue problem. May include applications for math, science, and engineering. Solve linear systems using appropriate methods and interpret the results. So that is what you can expect to learn this year, this course. Last thing that I'm going to mention, I think, you can see how much time is left in the video, but the last thing I think I'll mention is that this class has a lot of calculations, a lot of computations and following numbers. There's also a lot of theory in this class. And so I just want you to be aware that there is going to be a fair amount of theory. We are not going to be writing proofs. For anybody who's a math major, who's taken some more advanced math classes, you'll have written some proofs. We're not going to be doing proofs, but you will be expected to explain yourself, to justify your thoughts. So I would say maybe more of an informal proof, but we will be getting into some theory. And so that means that, especially at the beginning, it's a lot of number crunching. By the end, it's a lot of theory. And so I want to make sure you guys are really keeping up on it and don't let the first few lessons make you feel like the whole semester is going to be like that, because it's really not. This really is for a lot of people, especially for math majors who are going to go on and do a lot of proofs. This really is kind of the first introduction to a real theoretical class. And so in that way, it's very different than calculus classes you've taken before. So just to give you a heads up, so please make sure by the beginning of next week, by the beginning of week 2, make sure you've watched the first 2 videos, gone over the lesson, and done the homework. You can absolutely email me if you have any questions. I don't know how quickly I'll be able to get back to you because I will be out of town, but I'm very happy to respond as soon as I can. And that's that. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody week 2, and I hope you guys will have a great start to the course. I will see you soon.